He lived in an apartment with 20 stories and his home is on the top. At the first floor, the door of the elevator was opened and he entered, pushed the button 20. However, there was something strange. The door was opened again and stopped, although there was no one around him. He had no regard for that and just pushed the close button. The door was closed. The elevator was going up. As it approached the top, he looked up the sign of stories. Then his face was hardened. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. He spazzed out in a panic. He pushed the emergency button severely and frantically, but there was no answer. There was the sound of cutting rope and a faint laughing sound only. After a few seconds, he felt as if he was floating in the air and he screamed, "Yeah!"
Good.
My experimental name is Kim. Two people are confined in the room. Only 2 days worth of food is available. Tell them they can't come out forever. Observe their reaction 6 days. Experiment subjects were 18 people. When the experiment began, there was encouraging dialogues, sometimes crying sound. 4 to 6 days later, there was no dialogue. 7 days later, Kim told them that I changed my mind, so 4 days later, you can have one thing you want. And if you overcome 20 days, you can survive. 8 to 10 days later, Kim couldn't sense the presence of one man. 11 days later, Kim asked what they want. Everyone who participated in the experiment demanded the same thing: refrigerator.
Good. The end.
The program team went to a village which is famous for mysterious events to shoot about the cause. There was a suicide where at least one person a year dies by drowning. Although people who live in the village dissuaded the program team from shooting the well, they kept going. While the team went to the well, a member of the team suddenly fell to the ground and lost his consciousness. People felt impotence, however, they kept shooting. When they arrived at the well, the reporter examined it carefully. There were countless nail scratches deep in the well, and the scratches seemed the trace of struggle to get out. Then the producer suggested the reporter to get into the well with safety gears, and the reporter resisted the producer. Finally, they concluded not to get into the well, and later, when the reporter met the producer, the reporter expressed pleasure in that time. However, the producer's answer was that he didn't compel the reporter to get into the well. Then, who was the man forcing the reporter?
Excellent. Well done. Okay, number 4. Yeah.
Professor.
There was a notorious well in Japan. A person falls and dies into the well every year. Kim Young-gi, a Korean comedian and production crew, went to the well for shooting. There were many nail marks as result of attempt for escape deep inside the wall. The cinematographer requested Kim Young-gi to go into the well for shooting. Kim Young-gi rejected entering the wall since it was too dangerous. The cinematographer said, "I would hold the loop which binds you. Do not worry about that." At last, the team decided not to send Kim Young-gi into the well, even though the cinematographer kept insisting. During returning to Korea, Kim Young-gi asked the cinematographer, "Why did you request me to go into the well?" The cinematographer replied, "That's insane. I have not asked for such a dangerous thing." In fact, the cinematographer was possessed by a spirit at that moment.
Okay. Let me just turn it down a little bit. Yeah.
Begin?
Yeah.
Once there lived a little girl. She was very afraid of taking the elevator because when she took elevator alone, then she felt strange gaze. One day, her mother came lobby of the apartment to meet her. Then the elevator opened and they got in the elevator. The girl said to her mother, "I'm not afraid and feel so good because I'm not alone in the elevator." When mother heard that, she just smiled. Then elevator door closed. Suddenly, with the sound of thud, the elevator stopped working. "Mommy, I'm very afraid." But there was no reply. "Mommy, Mommy," she shouted. Then mother said, "Shh." Because the little girl heard her mother's voice, she relaxed. Then her mother turned her head to her and said, "Do you still? I'm your mother." 아, 재미없다.
Was going somewhere. Accidentally, he found his teddy bear Baron that he played with in childhood. "Oh my god, that's my teddy bear Baron!" The teddy bear was in the antique store, so he brought Baron his home. However, after bringing Baron, some strange things began to happen. At night, he often heard a strange sound. So he went to the room where the sound was heard, but there was nothing but the bear Baron. But the strange things did not stop there. Suddenly, his cat was killed and the Baron was often moved to another place. So he decided to ask the shopkeeper what happened to Baron meanwhile. However, when he went to the antique store, he found there was no antique store originally. As soon as he went to the home, he decided to throw away Baron and put it in his basement. It was then that he felt something bad and opened the basement door. What's happening in this basement? And there he found Baron right in front of the door, whose eyes were horrified. This is the real picture that the Baron was being photographed at night.
Nice. Wow, nice.
This story is a novel by Edgar Allan Poe. A man and his wife loved animals and they had many pets, including a black cat named Pluto. However, the man becomes an alcoholic and one day he really gets upset and he suddenly cuts off Pluto's eye. So Pluto feels terror when his master approaches. Then one day he finally kills Pluto and his house mysteriously catches fire. After the fire, the man misses his cat, Pluto, and he finds a similar cat and takes it home. But again he begins to hate the cat, so he tries to kill it, but his wife stops it. And he kills his wife instead, and to conceal her body, he places her body in the wall and repairs the hole. And the police comes to investigate. So he accompanies the police into the cellar, where he conceals his wife's body. Suddenly, a strange sound from the wall fills the room. So the police tear down the wall, and he finds her body there. And surprisingly, on her head is the screeching black cat still alive.
A girl went to hiking a lonely mountain with her friends. As it started to rain and got dark, there was no place for them to rest and stay. But then they found an isolated house. She said, "There is a house, let's go into the house." Although this house was creepy and there was no owner of this house, they could not but stay and sleep in the house because they were not able to go down the mountain. In the lonely house, they found that there were many portraits of some people. "Hey, there are many portraits. These pictures seem to stare at us like real people." They felt scary a little bit, but they thought they were just imagining things and went to bed. Next morning, sun rose and the girls woke up. The girls were so shocked that they fainted. One of the girls said, "In this room, only 7 windows here. No portraits. What we saw last night was not portraits at all." And
One day, a girl was going home at night. It was very dark and there was no one. The girl was very scared, so she walked without seeing anyone, just seeing her feet. But there was a woman in front of her who looks very weird. Her arms and legs are twisted, and her hair was tangled. In addition, she was bleeding all of her face. The girl was too shocked to run away, and she was freezed. The woman recognized her and looked back and said, "Where is my baby?" The girl was so shocked and frightened that replied, "There it is," with pointing far away. She just wanted to escape from her, and she ran away. After a minute, suddenly she heard the woman's screaming voice, "There is my baby!" And the woman rushed to her, and she was fainted. After that, no one saw the girl again.
Wow. Nicely done. Again.
It is said that in Mexico there is a ghost of a woman. I'm so sorry. Who drowned her kids. They call her the crybaby because she cries a lot. She is wandering spirit looking for her kids. If you misbehave with your parents, she will visit you. She's not safe to look in her face. If you do, I miss some.
What?
I miss some. One.
Missed one picture?
Yeah. No.
Online?
Yeah.
Pick it up.
Go.
Yeah, come on.
She will visit you. She will come out if you are near a fire of water and scream, "Oh, my children!" It's not safe to look in her face. If you do, death will follow. If I were you, I would be nice to your parents. The part about the woman throwing her kids is real. I think that the other part about her coming out of the water is true. If you encounter her, I would recommend putting on some earplugs and running away from her.